Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. We are talking about the transfer news reports that have been coming out today in regards to John Mcginn, who has allegedly piqued the interest of Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. We'll be talking about the Scottish midfielder as well as a couple of other stories that are coming out of Liverpool today. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. But for now, let's get back to talking about Aston Villa midfielder John Mcginn and the reported interest coming from Liverpool. John Mcginn, also known as by Villa and Scottish fans as John McGinniesta, has certainly caught the eye of many people during Villa's return to the Premier League a couple of seasons ago. A very tidy footballer, keeps it simple, nothing too flashy, but is a very good player, especially in my opinion, with excellent work rate. And in my opinion, again, I believe he has been one of Villa's standout performers over the past couple of years, despite only scoring 6 goals and assisting 9 times in 65 Premier League appearances. This news has been reported by several different outlets and journalists, including James Pearce of The Athletic, a Liverpool-based reporter, who claims that Mcginn could be the replacement for Georginio Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum, of course, if you remember, left Liverpool earlier this transfer window on a free transfer after his contract with the club expired, joining French club Paris Saint-Germain. Although in this scenario, for Mcginn to join Liverpool, the huge stumbling block appears to be the hefty fee that Liverpool could possibly have to fork out if they want his signature. Several months ago, Mcginn signed a new long-term contract with Villa, and it's pretty valuable. It's a pretty valuable card that Villa have in their possession right now, should anything, of course, come out of this reported interest. And it's a reason why the price tag is reportedly so huge, as the reported fee is reportedly set at a whopping £50 million, somewhere in that kind of region, which you don't need me to tell you is a pretty big price tag. But manager Jurgen Klopp is clearly a big fan of the Scottish midfielder and is clearly a big fan of his work rate, asking if Mcginn ever stopped running following last season's infamous 7-2 victory by Villa against the Reds early on in the campaign. A trait, of course, which obviously is a very common thread in all players of Jurgen Klopp. Mcginn was part of the Scottish side last night that crashed out of the European Championships and is now looking for a bit of a break before beginning preparations for the new season. But what makes him a good fit for Liverpool? Let's say that something does materialise from this and that Liverpool are genuinely interested and will want to pay the big price tag. What does he offer Liverpool and why will he be a good fit? Well, he possesses many traits that Jurgen Klopp would love to have in one of his players. He's good on the ball, he's cool, he's calm, he's composed, keeps things ticking and making things simple with excellent work rate, as I mentioned earlier, and very good energy. He's got good pressing ability, he draws fouls from opposition players, and in some ways, he is very much slightly like a Wijnaldum type figure. He's different in some aspects, but he is quite like Wijnaldum in terms of they both possess those kind of aspects that I talked about earlier. He's 26 years of age, so he's got a good couple of years left within him or so before he reaches his prime. He can still grow, he can still evolve, and he can still get better. And of course, Klopp would love that in his types of players. He loves to elevate those types of players and their game and help them take it to a whole new level. And with all due respect to Villa, the Reds do have better players than them, of course, all round. So his stats are likely to improve. His game is likely to improve, and all of those things will be big factors in the evolution of John Mcginn and why he would make a good fit for Liverpool. And again, in my opinion, I do like him as a player, but I also think that the 50 million price tag is a bit ridiculous, is a bit too much. We know that the English transfer market is like this though. We know that prices are inflated when it comes to English teams selling to fellow English teams. And I know that McGinn's contract is also a big part in this, and that Villa will obviously have that card and will want to play it and are happy to do so, and fair play and fair enough to them. But £50 million from McGinn, when there are possibly better options out there for the same sort of price, or maybe even a bit less of the price, I just don't see it happening, to be honest. A player who would probably be less of a starter, more of a squad rotation player maybe. I don't think it will happen right now. I'm not saying it won't happen somewhere down the line. Maybe Liverpool keep tabs on him and maybe go again next season, or maybe the season after or something. But as for this transfer window, I will be very surprised and very shocked if Liverpool would let Wijnaldum go in order to buy a £50 million player that is quoted as being John McGinn. I personally don't see it, and I would be very shocked if this is to happen, of course. Elsewhere for the Reds, a couple of potential outgoings are rumoured to possibly be happening. Neco Williams, the backup right back to Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course, is reportedly being monitored closely by Southampton, Leeds United and Burnley. It's being said that Liverpool will be very reluctant in letting the Welsh fullback go, but understand that the 20-year-old may be wanting to seek first-team football elsewhere, and therefore, if that's the case, they won't stand in his way of him achieving that goal. It's being said that the Reds are looking for a fee in the region of £10 million for the right-back, who is now, of course, away on international duty with the Welsh national squad in the Euros. They got through to the knockout stages, of course. And so with that being said, I doubt anything will be decided or will happen right now, and we'll have to wait till Wales are done with the tournament before we see where Neco Williams' future lies. I understand completely about this situation. I think regarding Williams, his playing time, I understand where Williams will be coming from. However, the reported plan from the Reds is that if Williams is to go, if they are to sell Williams, then Joe Gomez would be seen as the covering right back as backup for Trent Alexander-Arnold. And of course, there's also James Milner, who can of course play anywhere and everywhere that he well wants. I personally don't like to see Gomez at right back. I've said that whenever I've seen him there. I don't like it. I don't find him exactly reliable either when it comes to his history of injuries. So I would prefer to keep him at centre-back when he's fit. And I would prefer that Liverpool go after... They either find someone in their academy who's good enough to step up and be a backup right back, similar to what Trent was and how they built him up, similar to how Williams was and how they built him up. Or they go and they buy just a backup right back, or get some sort of loan option as a short-term stopgap kind of thing. But either way, I don't really like the plan for if Williams does leave. And also, a potential outgoing could come in the form of Big Nat Phillips, aka Naldini. Enjoyed a breakthrough season with the Reds, of course, this past campaign, in which he simply headed everything in sight. But he's been linked with a move away from Anfield as well. Clubs reported to be interested seem to be Newcastle, Burnley, Southampton and Brighton. The Reds again seem very reluctant in selling the big centre-back, and have put a £12 to £15 million price tag on his head. Although, to be fair to him, he'd probably just head that away anyway. And again, I understand why he would want to leave. I understand why first-team football would be more important to him, and why he may want to leave. He obviously played a lot more football last season than I think anybody, including himself, would have expected with all the injuries that Liverpool had. But of course, next season, looking forward, you've got to expect that Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez, Joel Matip, are all set to return for the next campaign. And also, Liverpool have also brought in Ibrahima Konate already this transfer window. So again, unless there's another injury crisis, then his chances of playing may take a bit of a hit next season. And again, that's maybe why he may be considering his future at the club. But again, it's unfortunate. It's sad because he's carried himself so well this season. He deserves all the praise and respect for how he's contributed to the club throughout this entire campaign. but maybe this might be the best thing for him in the long run. But of course, these are just all my thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, on these transfer rumours. I'd love to know what you guys think. What do you make of the reports linking John McGinn with a move to Liverpool? What do you make of the reports that both Nico Williams and Nat Phillips could be on their way out of Anfield? I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, on these transfer stories down below in the comment section. I'm sure they'll all make for interesting reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and probably greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you all again soon in another video.